I never thought I would be the type of person posting something like this, but I haven't been able to shake what happened and I don't know how to process it. Maybe writing it out will help me breathe a little easier. My husband and I have been together for 21 years, married for 18. We have 2 kids, a son who's in high school and a daughter who just graduated college this past spring. To everyone on the outside, we looked like a normal family. I thought we were a normal family. We had ups and downs like anyone else, but I truly believed we were solid. My daughter's graduation was supposed to be one of the happiest days of my life. We worked so hard to get her there. I remember the nights she cried over assignments, the times we stayed up studying together, the college applications and financial stress. All of it led up to that day. She was the first in my family to graduate, and I felt like everything I'd ever done as a mom came to a peak in that moment. The ceremony was beautiful. My parents flew in, my husband's side of the family was there, and everyone was dressed up. We took pictures, we hugged her, we cried tears of joy. It felt like one of those picture-perfect days that would be framed in my memory forever. But right after the ceremony, when we were walking out into the courtyard to meet up with extended family, my husband leaned down close to me and said, "I'm telling you today so you don't hear it from someone else. I'm leaving. I can't do this anymore." At first I thought I misheard him. I actually laughed a little and said, "What are you talking about? Can't do what?" And then he just looked at me dead in the eyes, completely serious, and repeated it. "I'm leaving you." My entire body went cold. In the middle of one of the happiest days of my life, he decided that was the moment to shatter me. I stared at him, trying to process, and I whispered, "Why today of all days?" And he shrugged. He actually shrugged and said, "There's no right day. At least this way we're all together." I could feel my face burning and my stomach twisting. My mom came up behind me asking if I wanted more pictures, and I just plastered on a fake smile, because what else could I do? My daughter was radiant and excited, and I wasn't about to ruin her day with my husband's bombshell. So I swallowed it. I smiled for every picture. I laughed at jokes from relatives. I clapped and cheered while my daughter took photos with her friends. I played the part while my insides were tearing apart. The only thing keeping me upright was the thought that this day was not about me, it was about her, and I refused to let him take that away from her. After the ceremony, we all went to dinner at a nice restaurant. I sat there eating barely anything, sipping water, and trying not to cry. My husband, who I could barely look at, was acting like nothing had happened. He toasted to our daughter, hugged her, smiled for pictures. No one else had any clue what he had just told me privately. Finally, when dinner was over and we were all outside saying goodbyes, he leaned in again and said, "We'll talk tonight." I just nodded, still in shock. But instead of going home with him, I hugged my parents and whispered to my mom that I was going to stay the night at their hotel. She looked confused, but she didn't press. I knew if I went home with him that night, I would either break down in front of the kids or scream, so loudly the neighbors would hear. At the hotel I broke down. I told my mom everything, and she held me like I was a child again. My dad just sat in stunned silence, shaking his head. I barely slept. The next morning I went back to the house to grab a few things and face him. The second I walked through the door, he started screaming. Not about me leaving for the hotel, but because I hadn't said anything in front of anyone. He shouted, "You made me look like the bad guy," just standing there smiling while I'm carrying the truth. Now it's going to be worse when people find out. That was the moment I realized he had expected me to break down at the graduation. He had wanted me to cause a scene, to cry in front of everyone, maybe even ruin the day so that he could paint me as unstable or dramatic. When I didn't give him that reaction, when I quietly kept it to myself to protect our daughter's moment, he got furious. He accused me of playing games, of trying to turn people against him by pretending to be fine. I was stunned. All I could say was, "I didn't do this for you, I did this for her. She deserved one perfect day." He just kept pacing and shouting. I stood there in silence, realizing I didn't even know the man in front of me anymore. Since then, everything has unraveled. He admitted he has been seeing someone else, someone younger from his office. He said he hasn't been happy for years, and that he only stayed until our daughter graduated, so it would be easier. Easier for who, I don't know, because it certainly wasn't easier for me. He packed a bag and left 2 weeks later. The kids know now. My daughter was devastated and furious, saying she felt her graduation day was now tainted. My son has barely spoken to him since. I've been in survival mode, trying to get through each day without collapsing. I filed for divorce, and I'm meeting with a lawyer next week to start sorting things out. What keeps replaying in my head isn't even the affair or the lies, though those are awful enough. It's that moment in the courtyard, when instead of holding my hand and celebrating what we had accomplished as parents, he chose to deliver the cruelest blow possible. And then the next day, instead of apologizing, he screamed at me for not reacting the way he wanted. I don't know if I'll ever forgive myself for not seeing this side of him sooner. I don't know how I could spend 21 years with someone who could look me in the eye and rip me apart like that on a day that wasn't about us at all. Right now I'm just trying to remind myself that my daughter's achievement still stands, no matter what he did. She earned every bit of that diploma, and I won't let him take that from her. But deep down, I know I'll never think of her graduation without remembering the moment he broke me.